there are no failures. With grind, all it is a path.
Go, hustle hard, hustle every single day.
Right? Sometimes your path changes just a little bit. On the grind.
Go, 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 go.
Okay, so originally the plan was to be out here today doing a sled pushing video from this new little thing that I decided to start, where we every Saturday we have sled pushing contest, right? So at the end of the month, after 4 Saturdays, whoever had the best time gets like $500. All right, and nobody came out today. All right, we had one team was supposed to be out, but had a COVID outbreak, so they had to stay away. All right, so honestly, I'm kind of glad that it worked out the way that it did, and I'm gonna tell you why.
They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy.
By the way, the course that we're walking right now is the course where we're pushing the sled every Saturday in August. It's about 7/10 of a mile, and I want to give you an idea what it's all about. So it's kind of a 2 birds, 1 stone thing here. The reason why I'm happy that it worked out the way that it worked out is this. I came up with this idea in like early July and kind of thought about it for a while and thought, all right, August would be a great time to start. Well, late July comes around and it was still just something that I was kind of thinking, oh yeah, that'd be a cool thing to do. But I had yet to really go all in on it. And why is that? Well, I think I know why. I think today is why.
Go, hustle hard, hustle every single day.
So what happens if I decide to do this idea that's kind of crazy? Nobody else that I know has ever done it. So like, what if I decide to do this thing? Nobody comes. I'm gonna feel pretty dumb. I'm gonna feel pretty stupid. And so I didn't really, but you know what though? I did it. I still decided, all right, but at the very last second. Okay, so I can't really be upset that a lot of people didn't come out to do this when I didn't really promote it as well as I know that I could have promoted it. Didn't really reach out to people that I know who might be interested in doing it as well as I could do it. So I figure, you know what can we take from today's failure to, you know, hopefully get better with and move forward. All right, is it a failure? You know what? It's not a failure. You know, not at all. And in fact, there are no failures until you decide to stop trying. All it is a path, right? And sometimes your path changes just a little bit if you take the right approach to it. So that's kind of how I'm deciding to take this, is what can we learn from it? Right? It's just data. Now, we're still going to do this for like the next 2 Saturdays if anybody wants to. I think it'd be fun. I think it's still a cool concept. I'm not going to give up on it. And I don't regret trying it. I don't regret, if nobody else comes, what's the worst that's going to happen? All right, so I said an estimated jackpot of $500. All right. What happens if I've had 2 teams do it so far? All right. So what happens if I got to give one team $500 and I only have $200? I lose $300, right? Maybe I invested some time on top of that, making a couple of videos, whatever. So what's the total investment there? Worst case scenario at this point. I guess the worst case scenario is you might feel dumb because people might laugh at you. And guess what? I've learned something about myself that, you know, maybe can help you. Who cares? You know? Also, they don't care for the most part. Nobody cares. Everybody's doing their own stuff, right? So like, what's stopping you from trying something that's kind of crazy, right? All I know is this. Didn't really want to do it, right? Just because of the fear of failure. Did it anyway. Stepped outside the old comfort zone. Okay, did it. And realized that, okay, if that was indeed a failure, didn't really hurt if, you know, you keep knocking on doors, eventually, not just I don't want to say a door is going to open, because for sure that'll happen, but the right door is going to open. Just keep knocking until you find the door for you. And it didn't hurt, man. Like, okay. So like a lot of times we internalize things and we think, oh man, everybody's gonna laugh at me, they're gonna make fun of me, and you know, say you go to a concert and you say, man, those people on stage, those actors or those musicians, man, they're really brave going up there in front of those people. Do you ever say that to yourself? No, you just go up there and you say, oh, all right, they're performing, cool, right? But if you're the one on stage, and you look out in that crowd, you think, oh my gosh, everybody's just breaking me down, they're thinking this about me, they're thinking that. Like, no, dude, those people are just there to have a good night, right? They're just there to live their lives.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
It's a big block, by the way. So it's almost a mile long, 7/10 of a mile. It goes over some railroad tracks. It was right in front of Power Park, or like center field of Power Park, and then shoots back on down. But it's a cool course. You got to go over railroad tracks twice, and sometimes that's a little bit tricky. But I don't know. We kind of have fun with it. It's kind of, we get some weird looks though. Let me tell you, pushing a sled out here down the road in the East End. And that's my hood right there. There is no reason to fear failure if you look at it as data. If you look at it as just part of the journey. You know, it's not a dead end. You know, you pivot, you adapt, you overcome. Chill, man. Chill. Good boy, man. Good boy, Grind. But you know, it's not like I signed a 10-year contract to do a sled push contest every Saturday of every month. No, it's 4 Saturdays. So again, nobody else shows up. We don't push another sled around this block. The next 2 Saturdays we're doing it. I'm not worried about it, man. It's all good. You know? I'll reevaluate, continue to reevaluate for how I can make it better. You know, could I do a better job of promoting it? Do I need to tweak some of the rules to it? Do I need to invest some more money in like a different type division type thing? You know, all sorts of different things. And you know, it's one of those things you listen to people too. So I'll listen to others. Hey, you know, is this a dumb idea? Do we need to find something else? And be receptive to the feedback. You know, one of the reasons that I decided to do it in the first place is because I did get some good feedback on it. Well, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. I thought to myself, well, it would be pretty cool. Like, but it's not going to do it on its own. So like, let's give it a shot. You know, what's the worst that could happen? And here we are. Okay, today being the worst that could happen. By the way, not the worst that could happen. I don't want to say that. I don't want to jinx it because you don't really know. But if nobody's showing up is the worst that could happen, what happened here? Actually, okay, so what did I do? I expanded my creativity on a different level with making videos. That's got a huge value. There's so many things that can happen off of it that have no downside, you know? So why wouldn't you do it? It took a couple hours on Saturday. You spent some time editing the video. That's value added into that $300 that I spent. If that's all, if nobody else comes, I would have invested $300 of money and a few more hours of time. But you got something, I think, in return out of that. And if nothing else, just the experience that you added to your creativity level. Therefore, that makes you more, I don't know, who knows? Who knows if it makes you more marketable or not, but it could possibly make you more marketable, all right? You created something that wasn't there before, that nobody else has thought of creating, And there's value in that. Like when you do something like that, like I've found that I'm like, oh wow, all right. I added something to the world. And that to me makes me feel good and makes me think I should try and do that more because that was fun. You know, maybe it doesn't help anybody, but maybe it does. You never know. It didn't cost me a whole lot to do that, right? So, you know, if you can find something to do that makes you feel good about yourself, you should probably do that. Constructive, makes you feel good about yourself.
Anything you want, anything you need.
Here we are coming down the backstretch. And you know, I'm looking at my building over there and I'm reminded of a time when I was remodeling that building, and it used to be a clean supply warehouse. And there was stuff everywhere in that building. Part of the deal was I had to clean it all out, get all the stuff out of there. There was this humongous safe that was in there. And we were supposed to throw it away, get it to the dump. I thought to myself, man, there's probably nothing of value in there, right? But what if there is? What if there's something of value in there? We're just gonna send it off to the dump. He said, nah, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. I don't know how I'm gonna get that thing open, but we're gonna get it open. So we decided, I needed a jackhammer or something. So I had a jackhammer, and I thought, well, jackhammer is probably a good place to start, right? Maybe a jackhammer would get that thing open. I quickly realized that, you know, 10 minutes on a jackhammer isn't getting that safe open. So I had to make a decision, right? And the thing was this: do I want to just throw that thing away? All right, just forget about it. But then every once in a while it might come up again and I'll never know. Man, what if there was something that's safe? I never would have known. All right. Or what's my other option? Other option is to invest what wound up being 3 hours of my time at a time that I didn't have a whole lot of extra time to give away. All right, but it was 3 hours of my time to finally get that thing open, to see that there was nothing of value in there. There were some old stocks that had no value, right? But there was a ton of value in it for me, because that's when I said, all right, man, I can live the rest of my life never having to wonder what would have happened if I would have tried to invest something into that safe, get that thing open. Maybe there was some treasure in there. I never would have known. I wouldn't have invested that time in doing so. Was it a failure of me that I didn't get that safe open? I mean, I never really looked at it like that anyways, but, or that there was no treasure in that safe. Like a failure, like, oh, as in you just wasted that time. I'm sure some people might look at it like that. I never did. And I'm glad. I have no regrets over that. So next time you're thinking, I don't know, do I really want to take the chance and put myself out there? The risk to reward ratio isn't there, whatever it is. You know, just remember, sometimes you learn a little bit about yourself, you know, when you do fail. And again, remember, it's not a failure unless you quit. Simple as that.
Go, go, go.
Right, Grind?
Go, go.